Warhammer 40,000 is freaking hard. And guys, that's great. You could be playing Candy Crush right now. It only takes 30 seconds to learn, runs on autopilot, and it gives you a little bit of a hit of dopamine every 30 seconds, just like a slot machine for toddlers. But you didn't pick Candy Crush, you picked Warhammer 40,000, and that is a great freaking thing. It's going to grow you as a human being. So let's dive into all the aspects of 40K that are crazy hard and why we love it, and why honestly we probably need to just freaking embrace the suck and get better at this game. Guys, I'm Jonathan Arkin. Crump, if you will. I'm a professional 40K player. I'm a top 100 player in the world, and I coach lots of people to become as good at this game as is possible. I'll be your coach for today. And I'm going to take a little bit of my background where I'm actually a chiropractic neurologist, and I've treated patients with brain injuries, I've treated freaking migraines, pain syndromes from all around the world, and I've lectured internationally. And I'm going to use some of that neuroscience to help you understand why we love the fact that Warhammer 40K is hard and why it actually makes us better people. So let's just freaking dive into everything because, oh my goodness, we have quite a bit to cover. Guys, Warhammer 40,000, here's the deal, man. We actually like adversity. A lot of people don't really want to admit this, but we enjoy the struggle. We don't want a game to have no conflict. No conflict means no stakes. No stakes means no achievement. We thrive on achievement. And we're going to break that down into extreme detail. We don't even want this game to be balanced. This is one of the most common complaints I hear from people is that the game's not completely balanced. But the reality is you don't want the game to be balanced. And I'm going to make a really good argument in just a moment as to why you don't want this game to be balanced. And then lastly, we're going to talk about metas coming and going and how sometimes we might get a really abusive unit or a really interesting combination that's just uncounterable or whatever, but it never is. We're going to talk about how we deal with that as players who want to achieve, and we put a lot of our blood, sweat, and tears into this game. Trust me, dude, I bleed. When I build these freaking sprues, they cut my fingers all the time. I'm just kidding. I don't have actually that thin skin, but you get the joke. All right, so let's just dive right into round number one here. We don't choose easy mode, and this is such a big deal. Okay, so here's the deal. Let me ask you this question. When was the last time that you felt like actually proud of yourself for doing something crazy easy? I don't mean comfortable. I mean, you're actually like proud of yourself. Probably never, right? When we're proud of ourselves, we get the chest opens up, our shoulders go back. Sometimes that, there's little butterflies in your gut, whatever. You feel good. You get that feeling, oh my gosh, I dominated. The reason for this is because when you achieve a challenging goal, and 40K is very challenging, there are a lot of rules that you need to master. You are actually dominating another man who is trying to dominate you in a strategy game. Now, we might not be trying to dominate each other physically, but mentally, we're trying to overcome another human being who is putting as much time, as much freaking money, and as much effort into this strategic warfare as you are. So when you achieve that goal of crushing your opponent, you get a big release of testosterone and dopamine. These are neurochemicals. I'm not going to go into the science behind it, but these are going to be, and hormones, these are going to be things that actually give you that sense of, oh, that was awesome, let's do it again. It gives you that drive. It's actually a reason why we see so many like men who were athletes or had really, really intense previous jobs and hobbies. There's tons of military people in the Warhammer space, for example. It's because we are used to wanting that drive, that sense of achievement, goal setting. We see tons of high-level businessmen and high-level people who are achieving in Warhammer 40K. And if that's not you, it's okay. You've got plenty of time to become that person as well. So it's totally fine, all right? So your body is just, it's built to reward hard-won victory. And this is one of the reasons why it's a fantastic thing that this game is hard. Otherwise, it wouldn't keep your attention. It wouldn't keep your attention, would it? Here, let's use this as an example. Okay, when was the last time that that 40K became boring? Was it boring when you took, I don't know, like one of the weakest armies in the game and then you went and crushed one of the strongest armies in the game? I'm going to use my boy Folger Pile as an example. Folger Pile, incredible player, and no, you don't have to be as good as Folger Pile. But Folger Pile recently went to a massive tournament, and he took the Imperial Agents, which is by far and large the weakest army in the entire game. And he got fourth at a super major. This is incredible. He played some of the hardest hitting people in the entire game. Do you think he had more fun and had a greater sense of pride and was more proud of that achievement, or is he more proud of going to an RTT where he ran the strongest army in the game and clubbed on baby seals? No, that dude must have been living on cloud nine, crazy proud of his achievements, taking the weakest army and going that far. It's because we like hard and we like struggle. This is reflected in all aspects of your life. People do not stay in jobs that don't challenge them. Now I know not everyone's blessed to have a job that can actually like pays the bills and everything. So sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to be doing. But all things being equal, if you could just stand in a 2-meter square and stand still for 8 hours a day and then get your paycheck at the end of it, almost no one would take that. A lot of people might say you would because you're like, oh, I would do that. Oh gosh, I don't have to do anything. I just get paid for it. No, you wouldn't do it. Very, very few people ever would. There's no sense of achievement in everything. So anyway, we don't like easy mode. We like hard. Let's talk a little bit about the next part, which is a really big deal. 100% balance actually sucks. If this game was actually balanced, dude, you would completely hate it. I hear this constantly. Faction X is broken. Unit Y is overpowered. This game needs better balance. Dude, I'm going to push back on that really, really hard. You do not want perfect balance. You think you do, but you really, really don't. Let me paint a picture for you as to what perfect balance really looks like in practice. It means that every army is going to have the same movement characteristic. Every army is going to have the same damage output, same defensive profile. Every game, regardless of what you bring, it's going to have the same abilities. Honestly, one of the closest examples of this is one-page rule. And now some of you guys watching this might really love one-page rules. Listen to it, and no shame on you if that's you. But the vast majority of people really, really don't like things all being exactly equal. I love the fact that my orcs play differently than my Space Marines. And if you're being honest, you probably do too. You love the fact, if you're one of those dirty fish people, one of those Tau Mont Ka players, that your Riptides are absolutely obliterating those 4-wound Terminators that people are loving right now. You probably adore that fact, and I don't blame you. That's really cool. You've got your awesome unit from your awesome lore that's doing something that other armies just are not capable to replicate. This is good. You know why it's good? Because if things were perfectly balanced, that's not 40K. That's called rock, paper, scissors. And I can promise you, nobody is flying to the Las Vegas Open to play freaking rock, paper, scissors. Nobody. I'm not. I can guarantee you won't. This is actual flavor for the game, and it's one of the things that makes the game super, super interesting. This is the texture of the game. Lack of perfect balance is texture. And this is true for all games and all hobbies out there. Let me give you an example from like the most balanced competitive game in the world. Even they don't have 100% balance. Chess. It's the most studied. It's the most analyzed, refined strategy game ever made. They've got like, oh my gosh, how long have they been playing chess for? I think it's like 1,400 years, if I'm not mistaken. But even with 1,400 years of innovation in the game of chess, it's still not 100% balanced. Whoever is playing the white pieces goes first. Whoever's playing black pieces goes second. That is a statistical advantage going first in chess, and it's something that they can't carve out. They can't get rid of it. It's because it's because there is just innate unfairness in life, and this is all aspects of your life. It's not even gaming. You know it. It's freaking your job, your finances. There's aspects of life that are not fair, and this is reflected in our games. The key is understanding those imbalances and exploiting this. So even in chess where they have this imbalance, does that mean that the players stop playing? No, they just get really, really good at overcoming their adversity, and they freaking love it. And it's become like the most beloved and largest like strategy game in the entire world. You don't want homogenization. You don't want it. You don't want a 100% balance. What you want is you want relative balance. You want every army to have a fighting chance. And guess what? Every army has a fighting chance. Yes, there will always be an army on top, and there will always be an army on bottom. But one of the things that I've noticed in Warhammer is that people tend to think that just because your army is currently on the bottom, you have no chance against the armies on the top because there's this huge disparity in strength. But the reality is that gap of strength behind like the really, really good armies and the less good armies is so much smaller than what people think it is. Your armies are so much closer in relative strength than you're probably willing to admit. But once you figure this out, man, oh my gosh, you're gonna realize, oh, wait a second, I've got these orcs. When I play Warhorde, I have 40 OC on a 150 point unit. Who else has that much OC on a 150-point unit? I have 21 OC on a 45-point unit of Gretchen. Who else has that? And people might be like, oh, that's unfair. But it's like, yeah, but also I hit on 5s or 6s with all my shooting. So it's okay. People are allowed to have strengths and weaknesses. We don't want 100% balance. That sucks. Let's get on to the next point here of why 40K is just so freaking awesome. Metas will come and they will go. And this is one that, man, this is probably the biggest complaint that I hear from players. But for me, what I have turned this into a feature of wargaming. This is one of the things that I love about wargaming. It's not a game design problem that you're always going to have a stronger unit or always going to have a stronger army. Every few months, sometimes even more than every few months, your meta is going to be shifting. You're going to have a new balance update. You're going to have a new unit that's released, whatever. And every single time, predictably, the exact same thing is going to happen. Someone on Reddit is going to post, GW's ruined the game. This unit's disgusting. I'm quitting the game. I guess I'm done with 11th edition. Before 11th edition's even started. You're going to have forums that fill up with complaints. You're going to have YouTubers like myself. People will go out there and we'll just complain. We'll rage bait because we'll get people to all watch it. But the reality is, 4 weeks later, the community's adapted. Suddenly, this army isn't nearly as strong. It's either been nerfed into the ground or someone's figured out the counter to it. Do you guys remember when oh crap, what was the name of it? It was Raiders, it was Raiders. Not Huron's Marauders, but the other detachment that was released for Chaos. The name's not coming to me right now, but it was the detachment that was going to give all of Chaos Space Marines advanced fallback, shoot, and charge, but they lost Dark Packs. Well, I saw from like every single YouTuber out there, they were all like, oh, this is completely busted. It's going to break the entire game. But guess what? That army just didn't really do it. It just didn't really do it. Even when Imperial Knights were one of the strongest armies in the game, there were counters to Imperial Knights. Yeah, they were too strong, and I agree. It was good that they got nerfed and the game got brought back into relative balance. But there was counters to those big knights. I started running extra Lancers. Other people's might start running Retributors if you're playing Sisters of Battle. Other people might start bringing more like Eradicators. There was absolute counters to the big knight meta that we had for 3 months last summer. When Death Guard was super strong, there was counters to that. This is a thing. This is a feature of the game. When you get a new problem, you have an opportunity to develop a new critical thinking skill. How do you take this huge pile of adversity, this terrifying image in front of you, and how do you conquer it? How do you solve the freaking problem? This is what I love about Warhammer 40,000. I love getting better at solving complicated problems. And if you realize that the fact that metas come and go is a feature of the game, and it's not necessarily a negative thing to be really complaining about, man, I'm right there with you. And guys, listen, this is not me dismissing the fact that, yes, sometimes things are a little bit overblown and they do need to be reined in. They do. And guess what? Games Workshop actually does a pretty dang good thing with it. But it's awesome for me to see so many people out there who are now really, really starting to embrace the fact that, yeah, this game is hard. It's not easy, and it's incredibly rewarding when we achieve. And it's awesome to have something that I'm able to strive for and something about a place where I'm able to grow in my hobby every single day. So here we go. Here's the final take. Don't worry about how hard the game is. Don't be intimidated that the game is really hard. Stop wanting the game to get easier. Difficulty is actually the point. The imbalance is the point. Shifting the meta is the actual point of this game. Every single one of these things is just a mechanism that's keeping you engaged in your favorite hobby. It's keeping your brain engaged. It's releasing your testosterone, your dopamine, and getting you excited. And if you really want easy, you can go play Candy Crush. I'm not like just crapping on Candy Crush for no reason. I have an addiction. But if you really, really want this, then just get comfortable with the hard, man. Get really, really comfortable playing hard games and enjoying the struggle, because it's awesome. It gives you the opportunity to compete. And many of us are retired athletes. Many of us have been we're in the military for a really long time. It's good as a grown man to have struggle, but fun struggle. This is fun struggle. It's not unfun struggle, where you're actually pitting yourself against another man who's trying to win. This is an amazing thing. So there you go, guys. I made peace with that a long time ago, and it made the game way more fun for me. Hopefully my perspective on this has been helpful for you. That's the doctor's orders for today. So guys, I'm going to see you at the table, and I hope you have a wonderful freaking day. Crump on. Bye-bye.